sometimes if I'm nervous or if I've got like the jitters, I go like this, I go, and that gets rid of it. On the back of each of these biscuits is a question about the movie I'm in, A Good Person. I'm going to turn them over and see what they say. The Bourbon. Sum up the plot of A Good Person in one sentence. Now that is impossible. The plot of A Good Person is a group of people trying to be good people, but also being normal and admitting fault. That's awful, but whatever. Gave that a go. A nice biscuit. What was your favorite scene to shoot? My favorite scene to shoot was the scene where Molly and I have our first fight and she chases me upstairs and we have our wrestle. That was absolutely incredible to shoot. When I ran up those stairs and she was shouting after me, it felt like I was running away from my mum, and that was terrifying. Like I had butterflies in my stomach when I was running up the steps. It was just so alive and so fiery. Jaffa cake. Tell us about the haircut scene. Did you shoot in one take? Well, yeah, we kind of had to because it was my hair. But yeah, that was my idea. I really wanted to chop my hair on camera and I wanted to do a really awful haircut. And so we only obviously had one take, you know, with the fringe, and then everything else we just kept the cameras going and I just kept on chopping. I loved it. I was so excited. Everybody else on set was terrified. They were confused when I was giggling in between takes. Tell us a myth about being an actress. A myth that I've heard a few times when they're like, but don't you get to hang out like in your trailer all the time? You get to change in your trailer and you get to put your old clothes on from that morning in your trailer, and the rest of the time you're running around trying to help make the movie, and I love it. Give us one golden tip for getting in the zone on set. I'm not method, so it's not like when I come on, I'm a completely different person. I like chatting with people right up until I can't anymore, especially when I'm doing such intense scenes. I don't really want to be in them for too long. Sometimes if I'm nervous or if I've got like the jitters, I go like this, I go, and that gets rid of it. Custard cream. What helped you shape Ali as a character? It was important for me to understand the mental state that this woman was in, and so I wrote a song, I wrote a way of understanding that really helped me. When I do processing, I don't do diary writing. I write a song. And we go for the wafer. Do you enjoy making movies where you sing and act? I do, yeah. It's a piece of me that I really love to be able to share. I think this, unlike any other movie, I was really channeling her in her mental state and her emotional ability when I was singing. So we really wanted it to be as raw and as broken as possible. And that was really interesting and sad, and I had a lumpy throat when I was singing most of the time. How awesome is Molly Shannon? So awesome. Molly Shannon is as funny as you think she is. She's also as up for all of the wrestling as I was, which just made her playing my mum an absolute magical time. She is a complete professional, and it was just amazing to watch her rehearse and go over lines and come up with funnier bits. And I would love to work with her again. What was it like working with Morgan Freeman? Was his voice as soothing in real life? Yes, it was. It was like hanging out with God himself, which made some of the lines, for example, when I'm referencing God, quite hard for me not to smile. Put you back. Oh, the plain ones. My gran used to give this one to her dogs, and then she'd eat the other half. It was like she'd share them with her and Rosie. If you could compare A Good Person to another movie, what would it be and why? We were chatting to people about what they thought. And everybody was saying how tonally and the way that it looked and felt and it sounded it was kind of like watching a bigger sister to Garden State, which I really appreciated because I loved that movie. And I'm so proud to be even in the same sentence of people thinking that this movie is, you know, a follow-on from that. And I think I did it. Did I do it? Oh, there's one more. What would you like people to take away from the film? That addiction knows no bounds, and it doesn't have victims that it preys on. It could happen to anyone, and it is just as hard for everyone. And just because you have done a bad thing does not make you a bad person. All right, I've finished all the Bicky questions, and I just want to say, please go and watch A Good Person on Sky Cinema or at the cinema, and I hope you have a good laugh, and I hope you have a good cry, and I hope you enjoy it.